Working. Testing, testing, testing. Okay. I think it's working. Hello, Colin. Blakey, you don't fancy being a co-host here? It's just me and Switch tonight. Just waiting for Switch to jump on. Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, sorting the mic out. Right, I'm going to give Darren a ring. See if he answers. Mrs. said no. We'll tell you Mrs. to say yes.
Testes, testes, 1, 2, 3.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
Yeah, not too bad. You're coming through well clear. Oh, you just got that new mic, haven't you, recently?
Yeah, new microphone for the win.
Typical.
Which I've hardly fucking used because no fucker wants to come on anymore because they're all a bunch of bastards.
Or got church or moving house.
Yeah.
Or too busy shagging.
Yeah. Oh, Wes just said yo to me on Skype. He may come on. Never
Fingers
know.
crossed. The more the merrier. Although it means we won't go on for 2 fucking hours, which is usually a problem we have sometimes.
Yeah, it won't be a long one tonight.
Oh, you still there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, no, the sound's sort of cut off weird. Because like my Skype's all weird and fancy now with like highlights or some other shit came up, and it's like personalise your coloured backgrounds and all this other crap. It's like I just want to.
Are you on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's updated on the phone, isn't it? Yeah. Cool.
Mark is using a previous version of Skype and will not see your pictures.
Oh no.
I'm sending love hearts.
Yeah, I won't see him on Skype on the PC, mate.
It's just, what the fuck are they doing? I just want to bloody call people. Oh, fucking beautiful weather we've had the last few days, isn't it?
It's been beautiful, isn't it?
Lovely, mate. Raining, like cool breeze. Just what we want when the kids all off school now.
School's finishing soon.
As finished round here a couple of days ago.
Finishes Tuesday here.
Yeah. Unless the normal kids finish Tuesday. I know like the sort of like the last graders or whatever finished a month or so back, didn't they? And then I think 6th grade or whatever. Is it still called 6th grade?
Sixth form?
6th form, yeah, that's the one. I'm getting confused with the Americans, aren't I? Grade.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I think they finish a bit earlier and stuff anyway, don't they, as well?
Yeah. Well, Wes is trying to get in apparently, but it's not working.
Let's get him to reboot his thing and it'll probably be fine.
I'm gonna try again. Already.
It didn't even have the same ringtone when you rang me this time either. It used to be that sort of weird noise.
It's not answering, is it? Oh, this is interesting.
There's probably so many different versions of Skype flapping about now.
Yeah. Very cray on the hey. Hello, G Griffey 4. Hello.
How do you do? Welcome to the shit show.
Yeah, we will start in a minute. We're just trying to get Wes in. His Skype's being a pain in the ass.
Just go and drag some random off the street, mate. Just go, do you like games? Come on in. Shoot the shit.
Yeah.
It's Clarky in the stream. He's sometimes floating about in the live chat, isn't he?
Yeah, I've already asked Blakey, but he's under the thumb. So that's a bit annoying.
I must admit, I'm quite surprised there are a few people that want to sort of sit there live on a Sunday night and listen to us chat bollocks.
That's more fun than having a roast dinner.
Yeah, it depends what the roast dinner is, though. If it's a nice steak with Yorkshire puddings, proper made Yorkshire puddings, none of that Aunt Bessie's bollocks. And a bit of like roast beef and mustard, bit of horseradish sauce.
Oh,
Brussels sprouts, parsnips.
Brussels sprouts.
I do like my Brussels sprouts. I know they're not a real favourite amongst most people, but I do enjoy them. You do get some skanky ones like that taste really earthy and horrible, and like they're really soggy and stuff. But if you get the nice crunchy smaller ones, they're proper flavoursome and stuff.
Like a soggy biscuit.
They'll make your arse smell like a compost heap for a while, but garlic's pretty much the same thing, and garlic's lovely.
Ah. Do.
Yeah, that's the old classic. I didn't have that anymore. Where's Peeps this week anyway? Is he?
I don't know. I'm just.
Is he on holiday? He's like jet setter now, isn't he?
He's always on holiday.
Yeah.
Him and his bird.
Happy times.
Yeah.
Mind you, you don't really want to be going away at this time of year. It costs you like almost twice the amount of money as a normal holiday would because of the kids being off and that.
Yeah.
I need to sort that shit out. That's why a lot of people like take their kids out of school.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember when my school had a fit because like our parents, well, they didn't take us out of school, but we like missed the last 3 or 4 days of school because we wanted to leave before the holidays started.
Yeah.
Because it's like you're literally like the price of a family holiday, like flight especially, almost doubles.
Yeah.
Like just over the space of a couple of days. It's like all of the airlines and travel agents are trying to fucking take the piss out of people. Because everyone's going out at the same time.
Supply and demand, mate, as Collie Wally would say.
Yeah. It's like a little tip, if you're ever going away on your own and you're not really too fussed about stuff, go away on a Tuesday to a Thursday. If you fly out or fly back on a Tuesday or a Thursday, or a Wednesday obviously as well in between, it's well cheaper. It is a hell of a lot cheaper. I remember when I went to Amsterdam years ago with my mate, the flight out there was like 45 quid because it was on like a Friday, and our flight back was on the Tuesday. £16.
Bloody yeah, that's good.
For the return flight.
That's good, man.
That's like cheaper than a fucking return ticket to London. I was like, what the hell? And it takes about the same amount of time as well. It's like only like sort of 45 minutes flight to Amsterdam.
Nice. Right, I'm going to start the show in a second because Wes is having some issues there and we're hanging around for ages. And I'm just playing some Guild Wars while we wait.
That's fine. If he can join, he can just jump in, can't he? A bit further on.
Yeah. I'm just going to mute this. Right. Are we ready?
Pretty much, yeah.
Ready to go? And hit the record button. Okay. What episode 147? Okay, you
no
ready?
Idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello and welcome to Mojo Radio, episode 427 for Sunday, the 23rd of July 2017. I'm your host, Mark Webb, gamertag Pearson ID, Steam ID, Webby317, and joining me on this fine evening is...
Hello, it's Sensei Switch.
And that's it.
Woo!
So, we've been away for 2 whole weeks, we've had a nice little break, and only myself and Darren can make it. Everyone else has let us down.
Or moving, or on holiday, or church.
Now they're letting us down, mate. You know, what's more important than recording the Mojo Radio, you know? Nothing.
True.
Nothing is more important in life than Mojo. Mojo life. You know, so... We're doing it...
me out of bed on Sunday.
Yeah, so we're doing it casual this week. I'm just chilling out, playing some... I'm streaming, actually, myself playing Guild Wars 2 for the people who are watching the stream at the moment, and it's just going to be like a party chat, really. We're just going to talk about the games we've been playing, chill out, and have some fun, really. As it should be. We won't let those other people get us down.
Happy times.
I am trying to get Wes in at the moment as well. He's having some Skype issues, so if he does get in, great. If not, then at least we can't say we didn't try. So, not really a lot to talk about this week, though. Switch, we'll start with you. I mean, have you been playing much?
Just threw that off. It just threw that out there and caught me off guard. I was like, I'll let you go first. That'll give me a time to think of shit.
Well, I can go first if you want, and you can look for some news and stuff if you want.
It's been a pretty quiet time of the year, hasn't it?
Well, it's summer, isn't it? So
releases.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet. I mean, I've been playing quite a few games on all the platforms, really. Mainly PC, though. I'm going to start off with Final Fantasy 14, because I know that's something that we've both been playing. To be honest, I'm really enjoying Stormblood. It's really, really good. I seem to have hit a bit of a brick wall on it at the moment, though. And that brick wall is basically I am level 68. Yes, I'm level 68, and I need to be level 69 for my next story mission. And basically, someone had said to me, oh, if you just do all the side quests, you'll level up fine. And so I've done every single side quest in Stormblood, and I'm still level 68. And the thing that's frustrating me at the moment is really the only way to level up your character is to do fates or to queue for dungeons. Well, fates, for those of you that don't know, are these random events that come up on the map, and people from the map will go to them and do this fate. It's normally just killing a load of mobs or a big boss or whatever. Even though Stormblood is rammed with people and it puts you into 3 or 4 different instances or whatever, I'm jumping in, I'm putting in the shout chat, anyone doing fates, because all of them on my map are at 0%, which means obviously they're not getting done. Fucking tumbleweed, mate. So I can't do any fates because you need other people to do fates with, really, because you can't really do them on your own because you just get killed. So I'm
if they're the mob ones, you'll be all right.
So I'm like, oh, I'll queue for some dungeons then. I'll do my daily roulettes. Well, they're like 40 minutes plus to fucking queue, and for me, I just don't like games taking the piss out of my time, and I refuse to be queuing for 40 odd minutes just to do a dungeon run when I could be doing other things. So I'm kind of at a crossroads at the moment as to what I'm doing on Final Fantasy, because I really want to play it and I really want to finish the story of Stormblood, but just that fact of having to queue for ages is just pissing me off. I might have to bite the bullet because I'm off this week, maybe tomorrow or Tuesday, and just queue up for as long as it takes just to get my level up. But it's just frustrating.
The problem with the instances and stuff that I find is the fact that it's like they're split into the instances because of a stupid fate that everyone does to try and get a mount.
Yeah.
But there's only in some of those instances, it's like 12 people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
In that entire zone. I mean, it's obviously done for the other servers, whereas our server hasn't actually got that issue, to be honest. So, but it has been a bit of a pain in the backside when it comes to sort of doing certain fates that get achievements and stuff like that off them as well, because there's no one around to actually sort of do them.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. But yeah, I mean, I know you've been playing Final Fantasy 14 a lot more than me the last couple of weeks anyway. It's nice to see it busy again. But yeah, I was just to say that's the only little struggle I've been having, which has been quite frustrating.
No doubt. I mean, I've had it before where I'll sort of play it in the daytime and I'll be queuing for something, and usually I will sort of run around doing other things. I will say, I don't know if you've actually spoken to the person, but there is someone in like Kugane, which is like the new city state they added near the inn at the bottom, that will give you like hunt bills, and you do those hunt bills and they'll net you about 1.5 million experience a day.
Oh, okay.
And they'll net you a load of seals and stuff as well. There is plenty of ways, but I usually queue for dungeons while I'm doing those hunt bills,
Okay.
sort of a thing. So it sort of kills two birds with one stone, gets rid of the long queues and whatnot. But
Nice. Anything else you want to mention on Final Fantasy?
not really. I can already hear people rubbing their face up and down Artek's walls, mate.
So, okay, I'm going to get into some of the games that I've been playing. And one of the games I've been playing, I'm actually streaming it for those couple of people who are watching at the moment. It's a free-to-play MMO on the PC called Guild Wars 2. It's been out
popular.
since... Yeah, so it's been out since 2012. And the only reason I started playing it is because a couple of people in our Discord group have been playing it as well, which is pretty cool. So, I just want to say a big shout out to Emmy Leonardo and his mate Devious for playing the game with me. Wes has picked up as well, and so has Sly Almond. So we have a Mojo Radio guild in the game, but I've actually joined an actual proper populated guild within the game.
Double agent.
So yeah, so you can have you can actually be a part of up to 5 guilds, which is
That's
pretty
mad.
cool. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, the graphics aren't too bad as well, and I'm just enjoying the combat, and it's quite, apparently once you get to max level, it's quite heavy on the PvP content, which I'm quite interested about because it's quite big on the esports apparently.
Yeah, I mean I think the PvP side of Guild Wars is its thing. Hence, obviously, Guild Wars, like in the name.
Yeah,
Sort of a thing. It's so out of all of the MMOs, I think that is the most PvP focused.
Yeah, so but one of the things that I'm really enjoying about it though is like the story's really fun so far, and the cool thing is, unlike on Final Fantasy, you know, where you're doing your main story mission and then you go into your instances and it's just you. Well, in Guild Wars, if you're in a party and you're in a story instance, it takes your party members into your story instance with you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like you're never alone. So you know, and that's one of the things I'm really enjoying about it, because you know we're all playing it in a group, and so we're all just helping each other out. So it's really fun. So obviously there is microtransactions within the game which I haven't purchased, but none of them are like pay to win transactions. They're all just like mounts and stuff.
I can't remember, vanity items, I think.
Yeah,
pretty
much. Yeah, there is an expansion for the game called Heart of Thorns. It's £15 expansion, which is like a month and a half's kind of payment on Final Fantasy. So that's, you know, that's pretty good value, really. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I've played quite a lot of hours of it this past few weeks, actually. I'm level 28 at the moment. But what I'm really liking is the world just feels really alive. So what I was saying about in Final Fantasy, you have your fates. So you have similar instances in this, which are similar to the fates. But the world just feels more alive, because what happens is, if one of the servers gets quite low on the population, it moves you to a more populated server.
Right, so everyone... Cool. So when you log in, are you logging in on a specific server, or do you just log into a generic
I just log in, and then it's just like, yeah, you're in the world, and then it can move you to another one.
So you're not separated by servers to reduce player numbers?
Not really, no. And so when the world events happen, the instances, and they can be big bosses. Like there's one of them in this swamp, which is one of the early ones, and you're like fighting all these little enemies in these portals, and you go through this portal with, like, you know, you can have like 100 other people, and there's just like this massive dragon boss, and you fighting that, and it's just epic. The music comes on, and you're all fighting, and I'm like, fucking hell, I'm only level 10, and we're doing this sort of shit, and like, this is so much fun. And that's just really, really good because it just feels more alive to me than Final Fantasy, like more stuff going on just in the world in general and more people just taking part. And I think it's to do with that server thing where they move you from like server to server. And, you know, and that's just a really, really cool thing because at times with Final Fantasy it just feels really dead. Especially, you know, at night time and stuff, which is obviously
that's
normal.
understandable.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. And for a free to play game, it looks good. It's well polished. You're not really getting, you know, the push to pay for anything really. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a good fun game. So,
cool.
yeah, that's kind of my game. My main game I've been playing. Obviously, I've been playing quite a lot of Battlegrounds this week as well. I've been playing with various different people from the community. And been really having a good time with that. A few people from work have been joining me as well, and that game is still fun. You still have your crazy different stories that happen, and you can either like jump into the game and get killed straight away, or you can be looting for 20 minutes to get into a battle and die or win, or you know, so many different variations can happen. Apparently there's a new map coming out soon. It's a new desert map which looks pretty cool. I'm quite keen for this to come to Xbox now, so the Xbox players get a chance to check out this game that us PC gamers have been talking about for quite a while now. So it's good times. So
cool.
What else have I played? I've been playing quite a little bit of Rocket League this past few weeks as well. Just because it's fun. I've got it on PC.
Is that still going strong? Because it was like really big when it came out.
Still really popular. I think a lot of it's to do with the fact that it's cross-play between platforms. So I think it's going to be popular for a long while because it obviously for the esports thing as well, you know. So, yep, that's cool. And the last two games I've been playing. So I told you this would be quite quick. Mass Effect Andromeda. I've been trying to get back into that recently, and
how's that going?
Yeah, I've been enjoying it actually. I think the patches that they've put out have sorted out quite a lot of the facial issues.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people sort of saying that the patches have made it way better, which just begs the question of like, I know the game was out. When was it released? March?
Yeah,
Something like that.
came out
That
quite a little
sounds
while
to me
ago.
like
Yeah,
they sort of rushed it out a bit too early to try and get it in before the end of the physical year,
yeah,
like for tax reasons and stuff. But it's a shame, really, because that's obviously a massive series in the hearts of a lot of gamers from last gen.
yeah, definitely.
And although there were people that still enjoyed this one, there were a lot of people that were sort of either took great delight in poking fun at it or basically a bit disappointed with it.
Yeah, yeah. So there's that, and the last game I've been playing quite a lot of is Counter Strike on the PC. A lot of Counter Strike Go, just really enjoying just shooting people in the face.
How
Really,
old is that game?
it's quite old now, but it still
It
holds
must
up
be like
really,
almost
really
10 years
well.
old or something.
It's just fun. It's just a fun game, and it's one of those games you can just dip in for like 20
Pick up
minutes
and
or so.
play.
Yeah,
Pick up, get in,
a bit
get a
like
match.
COD, but better. So, yeah, and that's actually all I've really been playing. I've been really busy with work the last couple of weeks, which is one of the reasons why we haven't really we haven't done a podcast for the last couple of weeks, just because life's just been quite hectic. So I've not really had a chance to dig into a lot of games. I've still got Persona 5 to finish. I've not even started Tales of Berseria yet. I've got Dirt 4 to play. I've got Prey. I picked up Final Fantasy 12 recently as well. Yeah, so many games to play and not a lot of time to play them.
Isn't that like every day of the year, almost every year?
Oh no, it's crazy, man. I
Like,
really need to stop buying games.
well, we moan about that. Oh, it's been quiet. There's not enough news. There's not many games coming out and stuff. And like half the time, you sat there in a fucking seat made out of your fucking pile of shame.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I still sit down, and obviously I've got you know, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and it's like I sit down. I'm like, well, what system do I want to play? And then it takes me a little while to decide. Then I'm like,
Yes.
okay, well, I'm going to sit down in this system. What game shall I play on this system? I'm like, for fuck's sake, I don't know what to play, and it's like I need to sit down and just play a game. And the problem is I'm usually like, I've got these single player games to play. Then I'm like, oh, I'll just jump on Guild Wars, or I'll jump on Final Fantasy, and they're like never ending MMOs, you know. So you're just like, oh, I'm not really accomplishing much here, am I? You
There have
know?
been times when I've come off Final Fantasy. I'm like, what did I do today? Oh yeah, I got that fate done that I've been trying to do for 2 fucking years. Result.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But yeah. Instead of Game of Thrones, it's Throne of Games.
Yeah, that's it.
Build a throne out of your game pile.
Yeah. So Wes has just put in the chat that he's having his Skype won't do anything, which is fair.
Well,
So, you know, one thing I did want to talk about as well is a new console has been announced.
is this the Atari box?
Yes.
Right. So we know nobody knows anything about this whatsoever.
So I actually signed up for the mailing list on this a little while ago. So I got the email that all the news outlets are talking about. So I only know exactly what the news sites are reporting, which is obviously there's a new Atari console coming out. A lot of places are reporting it's going to be like the mini NES. So just a box that plays the old games, but then other sites are reporting that it's actually going to play more recent games.
Hmm.
So I'm quite intrigued to see what kind of games this is going to play, because obviously if it's going to play more recent games, it's going to be quite expensive. But if it's going to play just old games, it's going to be a cheap console. Either way, it looks pretty cool.
It looks weird, doesn't it? I mean, the pictures I've seen of it originally, it doesn't really give away much. Just like a prototype mock-up of what it may or may not look like. But depending on obviously what type of games it's going to run, it's going to obviously, if it's like an older machine, fine. But if it's going to be playing newer stuff, it's going to need a cooling system, a fan, and like I didn't see a disk drive on there,
No.
which is one of the things that sort of like concern me myself personally as someone who only buys like really physical stuff.
Yeah.
And is there really room for a fourth console amongst
Mm,
obviously your Xboxes, your PlayStations, and your Switch now, like your Nintendo?
yeah, and it seems to me like at the moment, especially with the podcast co-hosts that never fucking turn up, um, they've all picked up Switches now, and that's all they're playing.
Yeah. I mean, it's the thing is the Switch has done like pretty phenomenally well. I think it won like a couple of the NPDs like over the last month or whatever. If you really pay attention to that bollocks or whatever it is,
Yeah.
um, and like I think in the months it hasn't won, it's been in second place and stuff, and it fills that gap of like you're sitting there, you're playing a game, and you can't sit indoors and play stuff all the time. Even if you really wanted to, you've got to go out on a family holiday, or you need to pop out somewhere. You might have to take a trip overseas or something, and having something you can just pick up and take with you. I know Dan plays a lot of his on his commute.
Yeah.
And if you're at work or whatever, and you say driving around, like you could pull up on this, like at one of the side lay-bys or whatever, have your food, and then pull that out and do a like half-hour of Zelda or something, switch it off.
Yeah.
It's just there, and it gives you that thing that you get from a console rather than like mobile phone games, sort of a thing. Which certain games are fine on mobile phones, but anything that's not sort of like a PVZ or like a proper type of game, you want a proper controller for it, like not a touch screen, because they're not exactly fantastically accurate at the best of times anyway.
Yeah. Definitely.
And with the Japanese especially, they love all their sort of smaller stuff and things that they can take up and take on the go and whatnot.
Indubitably. Did you pick up? I'll take it you've got a Switch. I can't remember if you built one. No,
No,
you
I
didn't get one.
I left it for the moment. I'm not working am I at the moment,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I can't really sort of afford it, and even if I did, it's like I know Zelda's like supposed to be cracking and it's a massive game, but I've got so many other things to play
Yeah,
that
yeah,
if I was to play that, I'd be neglecting something else.
yeah, definitely.
It is like now you almost have to choose. You can't play everything.
No, that's it.
You
Oh,
really can't.
got my cat in front of my monitor at the moment, so I can't actually see what I'm doing. It's really frustrating. Bella, get down. Come on.
And then never mind, you've just been taken out or something.
Oh, I can't see anything. Just sniffing
Oh,
around.
speaking of which, anyway, while you're doing that, have you seen the new COD Zombies trailer?
No, I haven't.
Oh, so good. I'm not a massive proponent of obviously Call of Duty over the last X amount of years or whatever, but you have to appreciate the way they present a lot of their stuff. It looked good enough to be like a separate game in its own right, which the zombies modes could actually be. In fact, you know what I mean? They could quite easily sell those as a separate thing for like 15, 20 quid download or whatever instead. But the graphics on it look really good. Like the thing was really well produced. They've 4 people that are in it. I can only think of Catherine Hennig or Henning. I can't remember if I fucked her name up. The one who plays Lagatha from Vikings is one of them, and David Tennant's another one. Because they've always done pretty well at bringing in some good old talent for the like celebrity wise to voice the sort of characters and stuff for it.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, it's quite weird. You don't. I know a lot of people sort of obviously do know, but when you think of the fact of like when you buy a Call of Duty, you're almost buying 3 games in one. A lot of the time, you've got your main campaign, then you've got your multiplayer, which is a completely separate thing that people love, and then you've obviously got your zombie modes on top of that. Oh.
Nice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was just a shame that the trailer, I think it was shown off at Comic-Con a couple of days ago, because obviously we've been getting through all the cool announcements, like the Ready Player One trailer. Have you seen that yet?
Oh, that looks so good. Have you read the book?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to cut a lot of the references out because there's, especially towards the end of the book, there's a lot of like Japanese mecha mentioned, like
Right,
guns
okay.
and
Yeah.
like Super Robot Tyson and stuff like that, where you're going to run into licensing issues with a lot of that content. But from the trailer, it looks like they've added in other pop culture to sort of replace the ones they've had to remove. Like, I don't know if you saw in the trailer, Duke Nukem was in there.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Freddy Krueger. Someone was running around as an avatar of Freddy Krueger. There was like, I think Elliot pointed out that he saw like Dizzy from Gears of War
Oh, nice.
and stuff. And obviously, like straight away, I was like quite impressed. They sort of like kept like the Iron Giant sort of turns
Yeah,
up thing. But if you haven't read that book and you're a gamer or you like your 80s nostalgia and stuff, like can't recommend that enough.
definitely. Want to see some Pac-Man.
Yeah, that'd be the test. Obviously, a lot of the sort of things because there's a lot of film references and stuff in it as well, isn't there? And
Yeah, I'm
bits and
hoping it's okay. I'm hoping it
I
managed
think
to
out
keep a
of
lot of
all the
stuff in it.
directors that's doing it, they've got the right man to do it.
Yeah.
So I think if any director can try and get around some of these rights, or if anyone was to approach someone to say, "Oh, can we use your content?" and they'd be like, "Oh, who wants to use it?" Spielberg. Yeah, all right,
Yeah. I
mate.
was going to say hello to Jared in the YouTube chat. Hello.
How do you do?
Yeah, so what else you played anyway, Darren? Anything interesting? Anything good? I know you picked up quite a few new games, haven't you?
Not really. It was just like the one new one, and I've only really played it for about an hour, so
That doesn't
I can't
surprise
really talk
me.
too much about it. But it was good. What I played anyway, and that was Axel World versus Sword Art Online.
So another Sword Art game.
It sort of is. It's a crossover between like Axel World and Sword Art, which are 2 separate franchises, but they both revolve around sort of characters going into sort of like virtual reality type stuff.
What's Axel
And
World?
Axel World, it's basically the main guy in it I watch so much shit I can't even remember his name. I know that the woman is nicknamed Snow White, but that's not her actual name. But the actual main character for Axel World is like a short, stubby, sort of chubby kid.
Okay.
Which is quite weird when you consider that it's usually like the young roguelike handsome lad sort of a thing that's sort of like running it. But Axel World, it's basically select people have a program like installed in their brain called Brain Burst, and they go off and fight these duels against other people's avatars in this world. And when you win, you gain points. When you lose points. If you lose all your points, you basically, the program Brain Burst gets uninstalled and you can never access it again.
Oh, right, okay. Weird.
Sort of a thing. So it sort of ties up, but basically, right at the start of the game, you go in and you're like going around as like Kirito and Asuna, and the kid, they're sort of like adopted child. I can't remember the name of it, to be honest. Is it Yui? Yeah, Yui. And Yui basically gets kidnapped by this new character and sort of taken away, and you find out one of the characters from Excel World was sort of like tricked into helping capture her, and then they sort of team up. It's like an action RPG type thing in 3D space where you can sort of like fly around. You've got like your cooldown skill, so it has kept like an MMO sort of type aspect to it and everything.
Nice.
It's decent. If you like, obviously, either of those franchises and stuff, it's definitely something I'd say you should check out. Although, if you don't like Japanese-only language, maybe not, because I don't think there is a dub to it. It's literally Japanese only, I think.
Oh, fair.
So just be warned on that count, because I know there are a few people that are either vice versa and on the other way round, sort of a thing. So. But yeah, there was that. I've also been playing a little bit of Killing Floor 2. They've added a new map to it.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm really shit today. I do apologise, but
That's
I can't
right.
remember the name of the actual map itself. But it's basically based on like a circus gone twisted, and it's their most Call of Duty-esque map yet. So there's like a generator that turns the power on, and you can like switch rides on that spin round and smash all the Zeds flying, and you can sort of trap him in cages and like burn them with other bits and bobs. There's like a weird roller coaster you can send round and stuff as well. And it's got the rock music in the game. It's like heavy rock sort of stuff, like almost thrash metal. And it's got like a weird circusy sort of twinge to it. So there's like sort of like certain chords of like the old sort of things all mixed in there, and it goes really well. It's nice that they're still adding content to that game as well, and it's free.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Oh, have we got Wes?
Oh, Wes.
Yeah, hello.
What happened?
How do you do?
Oh, laptop's been a nightmare. Just I to come upstairs, got family downstairs, and PC's in the main room downstairs. So come up, but the laptop ain't been turned on for about 6 months. So, but yeah, it's all good. I'm here now.
It probably needed a massive update.
Yeah, I updated some drivers and whatnot. Seems to be working. Skype just this Java is saying I need JavaScript for Skype or some shit. I don't know.
Java's like an ancient internet.
I know. I don't even know why it's asking me for that. I'm actually on the web app, like the.
Oh, you need to download it for the desktop, really. Not the web app sucks.
Sign in.
Ah.
Yeah, I must admit they must have updated Skype a couple of times, because I needed to update and fondle stuff the last time I was on. And then when I jumped on today, it was like, oh, check out your moments and your highlights and add colours to your background and change your picture. And it's like, I fucking don't care, mate. I just want to make calls and receive calls. Who knows? But yeah, when it pretty much most of the things I've played is that, and I've obviously been having a little muck around as well with Peach Beach Splash. And I will mention as well that the creator of the game has been getting so much flack from fucking SJW dickhead press people like Polygon and stuff, that he's actually now considering toning down his games.
Oh, wow.
To appease people, and it's like...
Because they're too hard?
No, they're sort of over-sexualised in a way to a certain degree. But at the end of the day, the people that moan about that aren't going to fucking buy the games in the first place.
Yeah, no one's making them buy them.
It's just all these stupid people that are like, you've got to have diversity in everything. You've got to have this in everything. Like fucking check boxes. You know what I mean? It's like if they bring out a Barbie game, I'm not going to get on them and go, oh, there ain't enough male characters in your Barbie game. There ain't much action and things to do in your Barbie game. Maybe the Barbie game isn't for me. So what's the point in moaning about it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just strange, and it's starting to get a bit fucking crazy and lunatic, mate. Like world gone mad type of thing. It's almost like people doing shit with no common sense, like chucked in. If you don't like something or whatever, then it's not for you. And most of the people that do moan about stuff, I will say I moan about stuff, but that's usually stuff I'm passionate about. And if I think they've fucking ruined it or taken something I like in the wrong direction, I will speak out about it. But if they're doing something to a franchise I don't care about or that isn't for me, I'm not going to say anything.
Just live and let be, yeah. You're not fussed, so just leave it.
Everyone wants hits and all this shit. It was like all newspapers, wasn't it? Like months ago, making up stories about politicians and exposing people having affairs and all this stuff. And it's none of your fucking business. Like all you're trying to do is like get people to visit your website for some shitty article or like fucking clickbait and that.
Newspapers are terrible. Obviously because I live out in Thailand, but I'm back in England at the minute, and I looked at one today, and front page is some guy taking Viagra in that stupid Love Island show, but that's like front page story. I'm like, what? What is this shit?
Oh yeah, you'll have it all the time. It used to be like you'd go into work and it'd be like the Sun paper, and it'd have on the front like possible affair between footballer X and fucking model Y or something, and then right up in the top corner, tsunami kills fucking 200 people in India or something. And you're like, maybe that's a more important fucking story than reading about some shit I couldn't care less about.
It's true. It's true. So
anyway, let's take it back to game.
I heard you guys talking about that Atari.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that? Does it play new games as well, or is it just
We
retro?
have no idea at the moment.
Okay.
Haven't even released a price or anything. It's just interesting that it seems that they might be getting in on the action like the mini SNES sort of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't really need anything super powerful to run all the old like 2600 games. You could probably run them. Well, you could run them all piss easy off like a 10-year-old mobile.
Yeah, that's right. I have to wait and see. I suppose it's just more to have the actual box and everything now. I suppose it's nostalgia, innit? They'll no doubt sell out quick as well, like the CSs did, Super NESs or the original ones. The SNESs ain't out yet, are they?
No, that was crazy. And I do get fucked off when I read about that, when it's sort of like, oh, they've announced the mini SNES, and then you literally look an hour later and it's like sold out everywhere. Go onto eBay or Amazon and people have just gone boom, 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 fucking whacking their pre-orders up for fucking like 3 times the markup and that. Scandalous.
Are they doing 2 versions of that, like the European one and the Jap one or whatever it was like before?
Yes, yes. Yeah, they are.
Purple, isn't it? And then the
other they're doing the American one for the Americans, and then the English one's going to be the same as the Japanese one, basically, because they were the same design.
So it's the American one that had the purple one, right?
Yeah, the purple, and I think it was like the X and Y buttons had like indents in them as well.
Yeah. I think it reminds me of them sweets, actually.
I mean, I always quite like the look of the American console, but I know a lot of American people didn't like it. They preferred the look of like the Japanese one or the European one, but they were both good enough. I mean, if you knew what you were doing and you had an American console, inside the actual flap that you used to push down to put your cartridge in, there were 2 little clips either side, and if you knew what you were doing and ripped them out, you could play, I think it was Japanese games as well through it.
The cartridges would go in, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, back in the days where like you'd have to get different games, different regions. None of that anymore, is there really?
You used to be able to almost have to buy different converters to play certain games.
Yeah, I remember that.
You need a new converter to play Star Fox because it uses the Super FX chip.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'd end up with this thing sticking out of your console with like 2 fucking cartridges, one in the back of it, one on the top, and maybe another one in between that. If you got a Game Genie as well, that'd be sat straight in the middle of it all.
I remember my pal, he had a wild card, and basically this great big thing used to go on the top of the SNES, and then it'll take floppy disks. So basically, you just
yeah,
floppy
my mate
disk
had
onto
that.
floppy disk. Yeah,
He
just
used
had
to
like
go to
every
Blockbuster.
game.
He used to go to Blockbuster, rent a game out,
Yeah,
copy it,
copy
take
'em.
it back. Not that
Wild
we condone
cards.
that kind of thing, but
Yeah, that's it. Games were dear back then as well. I remember I got Street Fighter 2 for the SNES when it first came out. I think it was like 60 or 70 quid.
yeah, this is the thing. It's like I can understand. I totally understand why some people moan about the price of games nowadays. But like I've said before on here, games are still technically cheaper than they were
Yeah.
when I was first a gamer doing
Yeah,
the
sure.
gaming. Every game was £50 pretty much, or £40, bang on, and you were playing like old 16-bit games for the same price.
Yeah, but the price of making a cartridge
making.
was quite high, though.
Well, yeah, but now it's just on disc.
Well, it's not even that.
Or
It's just a
digital.
download.
Sort of a thing, or whatever.
Digital.
And like the amount of work and effort that goes into sort of stuff these days. I mean, a lot of it sometimes now seems throwaway because of oversaturation of certain genres and stuff.
Mm.
But when you think about the price of inflation over the years on pretty much every single thing, gaming and entertainment has pretty much avoided that. You occasionally get a light rise, like say, like when the 4K Blu-rays came out, they were like 20 odd pounds, weren't they? Instead of like your 14 to 15 pound as your normal Blu-rays. But Blu-rays were the same thing when they first came out,
Yeah,
and now they're now in the price line as DVDs were when they were around. And then it all sort of carry on like that. The 4K ones will go down to like 14, 13, 15 pounds or whatever. But yeah, games have always roughly kept the same sort of price.
Cutting out.
No, you're fine, mate.
I've cut out.
I
can you not hear us? Hello? Can you hear us?
Yes. I think he's resigned himself to cutting out.
Fair dues. Right, I'm going to do questions then.
We might as well start floating into some of them, opening if he comes back.
Yep, so... okay, I've had quite a few questions. Destiny 2, will it just be more of the same, or just slightly more spangly?
Ah, right.
Have you played the beta for this?
Yeah, like an idiot, I forgot to talk about Destiny.
You dribbler. Tell us about Destiny 2 beta, because I've not played it. I've watched some videos, and to be honest, from the videos, I'm not that excited for it.
Well, I'm going to have to choose my words carefully, or I incur the wrath of certain people who love that franchise. If you're a fan of that franchise, I have literally no doubt you're going to love Destiny 2. It is pretty much more of the same. For me personally, after playing the beta, I wanted, or beta, or give up pronouncing it, the demo, we'll call it, just to make it easier. I was hoping for something like the original one to get its hooks in, where you were plonked on the like you could create your character, you were plonked down, you could explore around, you could take quests, you could pick up loot. And you got an idea of what the game was roughly going to be like with a leveling system, and like you'd pick up new bits of armor and you'd start putting them on. You could only level up to, I think it was like level 7 or 8 or something. It wasn't great, but it scratched that itch and it got you to play it. This demo I'd finished in 30 minutes and deleted.
Wow, that bad?
Basically, it wasn't that bad. It was like you get one story mission.
Yeah.
Where you basically get to choose your class, you get to choose a couple of weapons to muck around with. You go through the story mission. When I got to the end of the story mission, I got extremely frustrated, which is the kindest way of saying it. Taking out generators and having to jump over these spinning pole things that were attached to something, and you're instant dead if you hit them. I died there about 15 bloody times. Nothing killed me before that because it was a shooter, and I enjoy shooters. It's got the same solid Bungie gunplay that they've always had. Like the weapons felt pretty good from what I used. The graphics were really impressive in places. Like the skybox from the top of your sort of base platform where you're looking off into space and you're seeing the invading forces turning up, and they've sort of like attached something to the Traveller, and looks like they're trying to sort of like move it away or do something to it, break into it. I don't actually know. Obviously, story stuff. But anyway, once I'd got through the story bits, I was in party chat with like Coop and a few other people. And I was like, oh, right, it's going to plonk me down on the earth now and I can do some grinding and stuff. And he was like, not exactly. I was, so what have I got then? He's like, you've got 2 PvP modes and a strike. I was like, right, none of that interests me. Delete.
Yeah. Don't blame you. I mean, yeah, I know Elliot is really banging on about it, but from all I'm hearing from everybody is it's just more of the same. And I know Bungie is saying, oh yeah, we're going to really focus on the story, but call me cynical, but I just don't believe them. I really don't.
No, there's the actual story mission itself, the way it was done up until the point when I got extremely frustrated because it was like, I bought a shooter, not a platform game, and I'm shit at platform games. I will admit it. That's why I don't play them. Was like really well done. Like it seemed like that first part almost told you more story of to what was going on in the entire first game of Destiny.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a thing.
They said there's so much lore in there, like you're gonna get fed up with it, apparently.
Yeah, and the like there were loads of little like Easter eggs for players of the original game and stuff like that, and like the voice acting was good, and like the way that the certain characters from the original like were in this as well, interacting and stuff with everything. It was really well done. It just soured me at the end with the silly generator thing, which could have just been done in a cutscene. And then the fact that it didn't give me that thing that I wanted to get its hooks into me to make me think, yeah, I'm going to get back into this again. But because that wasn't there, I'm not really interested anymore, if that makes any sense, because it hasn't really shown me why I'd sort of like spend more time in it. I played the original Destiny demo or alpha or whatever it was for hours. Literally hours. I caned it for a good 5-6 hours grinding. Then when they released it openly, again, a few months or a few weeks later, I downloaded it again because I had an itch and I went back in and I was hammering it again for a while. But this one, I was like I said, half hour and I'm done. And even like Coop said to me, like, yeah, he was a bit disappointed in the fact that a lot of people are waited and you just get that story mission and a couple of PvP modes, really.
Yeah.
And sort of like a dungeon strike thing.
Maybe they just don't want people to burn themselves out like they did on the last one.
Yeah, but then this is the other thing. I can understand that, but I know a lot of people that were burnt by the first game and aren't really too interested in the second one.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
they're not giving those people anything to drag them back in.
To come
that
back,
makes any sense.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
this was the moment for them to go like, look, here you go. This is how it's going to work. Plonk you down. There's your little like make your character, and off you go. You'll get that feeling all back again.
Yeah,
it wasn't there. It was just like playing a standard sort of demo. And I'd rather have to be honest, they gave us a different sort of story mission as well compared to that one, because that seemed very like geared towards like the original people who played Destiny, because it was like so integrated in with like the characters for the different classes, like the tutors basically, and all that sort of stuff. It sort of gave it all away and showed you it all. Fair enough, they showed most of it anyway during their preview event.
Yeah.
That like months ago. But that would have been a good thing to hold back for people to experience for the first time when they actually got the game. But yeah, if you're a Destiny fan, you're going to love it. Like, it is pretty much more of the same. But for me, it didn't do what it should have done to get me interested again.
I think they done the typical Activision thing, took the piss with the DLC last time. I mean, I bought the deluxe edition when it first came out on the Xbox One, I think, and got the 2 bits of DLC that come with it. The expansions, they weren't great. And then they're like, right, we're switching it all up. This is the main one now. And it was like another 40 quid. And I just thought, nah, I don't think so. I'm not like paying another 40 quid just for a bit of DLC when the last 2 ones were rubbish, really.
Mm.
I don't bother. But I am looking forward to this coming on the PC to see what it's like on there. But I'll give the Vita a go.
It just look better resolution, run better frame rate, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's Activision. There'll be no mods or anything for it, will there? But yeah, just see, because I don't know how well this will do on the PC, because PC communities for MMOs, they're used to them being big MMOs, where Destiny's not really. Well, Destiny 1 wasn't really a real MMO. There was no like ecosystem in it. You couldn't trade or anything. The only place you could all meet up was at the tower. There was nothing to do there. And I think on the maps it was what, 4 people max?
Yeah, it was something
that was
shit. Yeah.
It was something stupid where I was like, what part of this is an MMO when like
Yeah.
there's only like 6 people on a fucking
Yeah,
or 8 people in the zone.
Yeah, when you're doing patrols and that, you never saw like, all right, you sometimes saw random people, but it weren't a lot. Like when there was events and stuff. I mean, what was that?
The
What was
Sparrow
that
Racing,
game?
is that what you're going to think of?
No, that other game that was on the Xbox 360, Defiance.
Oh
Defiance.
yeah.
I enjoyed my
was an
time with that, I
MMO
must
for a
admit. Yeah.
console. Like, I mean, the frame rate used to drop like anything when everyone was killing the big bosses. But I mean, there was a lot of people on the screen there for a console game that done well. Like, and so I would have thought Destiny would have been more like that, but like, it weren't.
Motherfucker.
Anyway, Wes, before we lose you, have you been playing anything interesting this past week or so?
Well, yeah. So start off, Elite Dangerous.
Oh, you've been hooked on that.
Yeah, I've done about 55 hours in 1 week on it, I think. Because basically I've got a HOTAS, so it's hands-on throttle and stick. Yeah, hands-on throttle and stick. And it just transforms the game totally. Like, it's a total different game with that. So just been grinding out on that. And then I got the Rift. And it's a totally different game again on the Oculus Rift. Like, the scale of it is 1-to-1 scale. Like, everything's just so much bigger. The spaceships and the space stations and everything, like everything's 100 times bigger. It's unreal. So I've been playing a bit of that. Not too much of it. I get a bit queasy from it, to be fair. It's a bit.
So how are you finding the Rift? Because you only picked it up this week, didn't you? It was on sale, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
I saw the sale. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's it. I was planning on getting a 5. They're like 760 when I was like coming back, like now. And then I see they put their Rift on the sale for 400. So I grabbed one up quickly. 2 days later, they're all sold out. But they're hard to get hold of now. You have to get them direct from Oculus. It's like a 2-week waiting list for
So how are you finding it? Are you finding it blurry at all? Is it really good quality?
Nah,
are you enjoying
to be
it?
fair, and I'm using it on a low spec PC. I'm running it off the one that I've got at my mum's. It's a 1050 Ti, and it's a Pentium G45.
Oh, we've lost him again.
Oh, I will just say before he comes back, the context of my outburst a minute ago.
Yeah.
I just noticed on the side spine for Axel World and Sword Art Online, it's got no PlayStation logo on the top of it. There's just an empty blank space.
Oh, what and?
It fucking looks odd.
Oh my
amongst
god!
everything else, I might have to go and get that fucking reprinted or something at a fucking printers or something to get that sorted out.
Oh my god! You're so
Bastard.
OCD. Oh, hilarious! Why? You are so funny.
Oh, why? Everything's against me, mate. I tell you.
Against your OCD. Are you there, Wes?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's still ringing. Right, I'm going to go into another question while we wait for him to come back on.
That's fine. No worries.
Mark Elliott says, is Guild Wars 2 better than Final Fantasy? LOLs! Not at the moment. I'm enjoying them both equally.
Oh, did you see our new FC house, by the way?
No, I've not been there yet.
We now own a Carbuncle Mansion.
Oh.
Which it took like myself and a few other guild people like 2 weeks to build, and we finished it one night at like 12 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
We're the only people on that lot that have that mansion, and the carbuncles like are on big pillars and they glow at night. So if you're down on the beachfront looking up, like our mansion sticks right out.
Oh, nice.
It's awesome.
Awesome
Just
stuff.
throwing it out there.
Have any of you picked up, this is from Eli Shaw, have any of you picked up Super Hot VR? Well, I can ask Wes if he ever comes back. Because
No,
obviously
I
we
knew
don't
it was
have
coming
VR
out,
headsets.
I have, but I haven't picked it up.
Robert Clapp asks, has anyone been playing Telltale's Guardians of the Galaxy? No. Elliot's played it and he says it's not that great. Oh, where's
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, my internet's playing right up.
Right, so
Welcome
where were
England.
you? You're on a low spec PC for your Oculus and it's running well, yeah? Hello? Oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous. Right, so next question is Chris Bloomdahl. What do you guys think about the new free content announced for Dying Light over the next year? Good, or should they move on to the next big project? I didn't know they were releasing any more DLC.
First I've heard, actually.
That's pretty cool. The game's not very popular anymore, though, from what I can see. So.
It's a good couple of years old, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. I think they should just leave it and work on someone else, to be honest. That's my opinion. I mean, it's good that
at the end of the day,
it
won't be the entire team that's working on it anyway. You'll probably find it'll be an offshoot or something, or like a little side team. That's usually what happens when it comes to DLC and stuff.
Yeah. Give it to the interns. Okay, so next question is from... Lee Gartland's asking about the Atari console and its prospects for success. I think we already mentioned it, but it just depends what it is, like what it can play and how much it is, really, to be honest. So
I'll take it. Who's back?
Wes, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, man.
Right, so you're normally in Thailand and you were fine.
Yeah,
now you're in England and you're fucking up.
You know, which is pretty much a fucking third world country, and seems to have better internet there. What is going on?
Right, so Oculus Rift, low spec PC works well.
Yeah, it works fine. I mean, not everything's on high settings, but yeah, it works good enough. Definitely on a budget PC. Game wise, I've just been playing mostly the demos and whatnot. Like there's a lot of experiences rather than games, but there is games, but I just ain't bought them. You get 6 free games or like 6 free things with a bundle for £400, an Xbox One controller and the wireless adapter.
That's pretty cool.
It's worth it. Yeah. I mean, it is worth the money for sure for £400. I let my mum go on it. She's like in her 60s. And like within 20 minutes, she bought another one for my nephew and niece, who like always come to the house. So.
Wow!
You now get to see the joys of demoing it and people and watching just watching their mouths turn into like a childlike smile.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so no, but I played some real good games. Robo Recall. If someone's got Rift and that, check that out.
Is that the Epic one?
Yeah, it's the Epic one.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I've seen advertised and that looks quite fun.
That is real good. It's sort of teleport to move, but it's action packed. You can grab them, like rip their heads off. There's like endless things you can do on that game. It's good fun, man. They shoot rockets at you. Oh, you can grab bullets. It's got bullet time on it as well. You can grab the bullets and throw them back as well.
Pretend to be Neo.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What's the other good game that really have a good one that I played? That not Lone Echo. It's the multiplayer of that. It's called Echo Arena. That's the one that I was talking about. It's basically like 4v4 or maybe 5v5, and you're in an arena floating around space. And like you basically got to get the frisbee into one side of like the net, and then on the other side they've got to do the same. It's hard, and you feel a bit sick after as well. The drifting around. I've been getting slight headaches from it, but I mean I've been sat on it for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
Yeah, you'll find. I mean, a lot of it with myself was either like you say, the fact that you have it on for too long, and don't forget your eyes are literally in front of screens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's
Plus,
quite
you've
bright.
obviously got the fact of it takes you a while to slightly adjust when you first put it on, but then you also have to adjust to reality when you come out of it.
Come out after,
if
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but when you
It
use
throws you
your
off a
phone
bit.
after, it throws you off. It does. But yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people say it's quite blurry and stuff, but I'm quite impressed with it. I mean, you can't expect it to be 4K like quality at the moment. It's
No.
still Gen 1, but yeah, it's definitely good enough. People that say, oh, they're going to wait. I mean, you can wait till 2018, but the Gen 2 is going to be a big price again as well.
Oh yeah, the newer models for things like this it's just going to get more expensive.
Price is going to go up, exactly.
I'm surprised they're calling it Gen 1, to be honest, because when I think of Gen 1 VR, I think of the horrendous stuff in the fucking early 90s.
Oh my God, yeah.
Where it literally was like, if you ever think of it, look up a game, because it like Hard Driving. Look up a game called Hard Driving, and then imagine that in
just
VR.
lines.
Yeah, just big jerky polygons. Like,
yeah, I mean,
and back then we used to think that was amazing.
With the Oculus Rift, you had the DK1, which is Development Kit 1, then the DK2, and now this is the CV1, what we're on at the moment. Customer Version 1 stands for. So, but they're bringing out a wireless thing for it as well. I think it's for the 5 TP Linker doing it, but that's like £300 just in itself.
Yeah, that's when that's going to be big when they get around the wireless thing or the wired thing, because that is the pain of having the wire running down, and
yeah, it is.
It restricts your movement and stuff as well when you should be free and whatnot.
No, it does, but I don't think I could pay £300 for a wireless thing when I only paid £400 for the headset, controllers, 6 games, Xbox controller. Like, can't really justify that. But yeah, no, it's good. If anyone's interested in getting one, worried their PC ain't good enough, like, you don't need too much of a beast. I suggest you pick one up.
Yeah. Not only that, maybe even pick one up and just have it on the waiting for a couple of months, because the deal's only on for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, it was 6 weeks. 6 weeks of summer the sale was on. I think you got about 4 weeks left.
It's like a third off, isn't it? Or at least a third off.
Yeah, it's a third. They were £600, but what they're actually doing now is they run out of the bundles that I've got. So now it comes with 7 games, the 2 touch controllers, and that's it. You don't get the Xbox controller, and you don't get the Oculus. Like, it's like a TV remote. You don't get that. So it's not as of a good deal, but it's still a good deal. It's just a shame you don't still get the Xbox controller. It's another game I played, Lucky's Tale.
Oh, okay.
I heard of it.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Super Mario 64, like, as in platforming and whatnot, but you're actually in the environment. So it's a third-person sort of game, but you're in the environment, and it's like a fixed camera. So as you're going along, the camera moves around, sort of thing. It's interesting. It's a good game. It's more of a kid's game. I'm going to give it a bit more of a go. But yeah, it's just nice to play something where you're not actually like first person in it, whereas like you're actually looking down on it. So it makes a nice change to like play.
Yeah, that is the thing that they're going to have to get around, because for the true, real sort of immersive VR experiences, they have to pretty much be first person games.
Yeah,
because it just wouldn't work unless you were, say, playing. There was a game that came out. Oh no, that was what's it called? The David Cage one, isn't it? Where one of you could be the ghost and the other one could be the character, or whatever it was. But yeah, if it was like one where you were, say, like manipulating someone else, that would explain why there'd be like a character model in front of you walking around.
They are doing games like RTS games where you sort of God mode, like, so you're overlooking the whole map. I mean, stuff like that's cool.
Nice.
And they've got one, I'm going to grab it, pick it up, Cronus, I think it's called. It's like a Dark Souls sort of game, but it's a game. You're like in the environment with the character, and you can see him, and the camera follows him about. I mean, it does work. It works good. And it just kind of, sometimes you want to sit down and play VR. I mean, I never really bought it thinking, I'm going to be standing up playing all the time. It's like the Wii. It's all right for parties and whatnot, but when you want to kick back and relax, you're not really going to be doing it either. Like
are you gonna end up putting this in your calf?
No, I'm half tempted to buy another one to take back to put in the shop.
Yeah, because you could probably charge people and make your money back, couldn't you, after a couple of months or whatever on it?
Yeah, I mean, oh, my bad. 2 seconds.
Because I will say, while we're on the VR tip, I saw the other day that there's an arcade in Japan that's recently opened with a virtual reality Mario Kart.
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah. I can actually download that. To be fair, it's a mod.
Oh
yeah,
right.
I see that advert as well. I don't know where I see that, but it's a mod. I can actually download that as well. It's a mod that you can download. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a go as well when I get round to it. There's
like this arcade actually had like the proper thing where you sit in a cart and you have to sort of like pick your power ups up as you go past them and stuff and actually throw them.
Oh, that is cool. That is cool.
Which is good because obviously they need to like work out how to bring people back to arcades to a certain degree because arcades, like for a lot of us back in the day, were sort of like we basically played all the best types of versions of games. But as soon as your consoles like your PlayStation 1 and your Saturn and stuff like that started coming out, the games on those consoles became more and more like the experiences you got in arcades.
Dude, arcades in the UK are dead and they'll never come back.
So then when they obviously got to that point, more and more manufacturers started bringing out more sort of sit-downy type arcades. The sort of skiing one where you actually sat on a pair of skis and you did like slaloms and like your light gun shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I've heard of a place. I don't know exactly where it is. Maybe in America. It's a big VR warehouse, and basically it's just a warehouse, and they set the scene. So it's obviously like shooting games and whatnot. So you have team shooters, but you basically, instead of running around with a paintball gun or a laser quest gun, you're running around with VR headsets on.
That'd be cool because if you could actually get someone to do something like that. But then because you've got headsets on, it maps everyone in real time and like you can just change the environments and the settings as much as you want.
Change the maps and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, like now you're in space, now you're running around in like the First World War or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, this I definitely suggest someone to pick it up, the Rift, if they are slightly interested in it. Oh, it does blow your mind. I mean, some people are underwhelmed by it, but I think they kind of expect too much. But I think it's definitely going to be the future. Oh, big screen mode. I don't know if you've got anything like that on PS4. So basically, it's a like app just so you could use your PC, but in big screen mode, and they've got like a cinema setting, and you actually feel like you're sat in the cinema, and the screen is huge.
Yeah. There's a similar thing you can have on like when you're not playing any VR games that are actually VR supported. It sort of does that. You're like sat in front of a big. Hasn't got the seats, but you can get certain if you watch certain apps and stuff, you do get the sort of seats there.
Yeah, no, these are like you can even change seats. I think you can invite people into the room and they can watch stuff with you, and then you've got one like you're in the front room, and the screen you can make bigger with your hands and you can bend it so it's a curved TV.
Oh, that's cool.
It's unreal, and the settings where you are, it's just so nice. Definitely.
Do you remember when they talked ages ago about when they first did like the Xbox avatars and stuff, and they could say you could go in and like watch films with your friends?
You could do that, man.
Could you do that?
Yeah. Yes, because I remember me and Peebs used to watch like Sky News together in a room sometimes when we were having our lunch. It was really, really weird. Pretty cool though. Yeah.
I used to love that 1 versus 100. That was great.
Yeah, I wish they'd bring something like that back.
Cool. I don't know why they stopped that, and that poker as well, that Texas Hold'em, because that was 1v100 was what started that off, wasn't it? They was trialing it.
Yeah.
And then they've done the poker, so everyone would meet up at 7 or 8 o'clock to play in this tournament. It was great, man.
It was a lot of fun.
They need to do more like that.
So super popular. Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've paid, to be fair. Bit of PUBG, as normal.
Of course.
I think meant to be an update coming soon to bring in first-person only servers, which would be pretty cool to try that.
Yep.
Totally change the gameplay type up. and with faulting, which I know Sly's looking forward to, and the climbing. He keeps
The
banging on about it.
the game has been pushed back for the full release, isn't it, as well? So what I'm wondering is because obviously
Does this mean it's going to affect the Xbox one? Because
that's just what I was going to say. Yeah. I think they're either going to delay it on Xbox or put it out on the preview program. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it will always. I think it was always going to come to the preview first. I reckon. I mean, I've said it before, innit, about that. I see my friend again, who lives over here. I went and saw him the other day. He was playing Ark on that preview. I think he's still on the preview program, and it's. Oh, I don't know how he plays it. It's like 10 FPS. Like the frames per second's terrible. So I just hope if they do put it on that, they finish it. Because with Ark, they haven't done nothing.
Yeah, definitely.
Whatever happened to We Happy Few?
Oh, I think it died a death because it's complete shit.
Because they whacked it on the preview program, and then like a lot of people were like, and then because obviously games in the preview program are works in progress, basically, aren't they? But then I've heard nothing else since, and that was like at least over a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening with it, mate. To be honest,
sad face.
Yeah, I heard bad things about it, so I just didn't bother with it. I think they messed up there. If they would have released it when it was finished, they would have done a lot better, I think. But they released it in beta, and people were just moaning about it and just put everybody off, I think. So it was a flop.
Big floppy ones.
Indeed.
Cool. So how are you enjoying Guild Wars? Have you played it yet, Wes?
No, I haven't started it. No, I haven't had a chance. Because I downloaded it, I think, on Thursday when I was talking to you and Leonardo.
Yeah.
But by the time it was done, I had to get in bed because I had a flight the next day. So I will get to it at some point in the week when I'm bored of VRing, which I don't know if I will be. But yeah, I'm going to try it. It's my sort of game. I loved WoW, and it seems a bit like WoW, so...
Right.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go on YouTube and watch the Saturn's Bars Gorillas video in VR.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I haven't really watched any.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any videos really. Just a kids cartoon I put on for my little nephew. He loved that. I mean, he's like 3, and he loved it. Like running around the room, I absolutely loved it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and VR porn as well, which I have to wait till I get back home for that, I think. can't be watching that in my parents' house.
Lols.
Yeah. The worst thing is you'd never know if someone walked in on you.
No, exactly. That's the problem. All of a sudden, there's a cup of tea on the side. You know,
yeah,
where it's come
some
from.
biscuits.
Yeah.
Couple of tissues.
Oh, nightmare. So, yeah.
Cool. Right, I've got one more question on the Facey books anyway, which I need to read out. It is from Russell Soanes. Who do you think had it better? Those that started gaming in the early days with fewer but more original games, shitty graphics but great gameplay, or those that started gaming later when games were more plentiful but less original with better graphics but less original gameplay?
I would say personally for myself, like the early days, because I know where we've come from.
Yeah, from the start.
I played some stuff now that people are fucking wouldn't even look twice at.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd literally be like, "What the fuck is this? Get this out of my face."
Well, you've got all those classic games, man, which people just wouldn't play now, and for me that would be like the old school Final Fantasy games. I think, for me personally, I think I grew up in one of the best times for gaming, you know, the PS1 era.
80s were great for gaming as well.
Yeah, with the Mega Drive, NES, SNES, Master System. I mean, those were great consoles, man, you know, and I mean, a lot of those games are still good now, don't get me wrong, but, you know, if you're a teenager now, you're not going to be playing them, you're going to be playing fucking Call of Duty or something, aren't you? So, yeah, those were great games. I mean, I missed out on the arcade era because I'm too young for that.
You was there at the latter part of it.
Yeah, but I didn't live by the seaside, so...
Oh, I didn't really either, but there were quite a few arcades around the towns where I was, or where I
I
was.
used to go Chocodero in London.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. And they used to have Sega parks in London as well.
Yes, well, they
were
moved.
wicked.
Sega Park, I think, ended up in the top half of Trocadero eventually.
Yeah, they had
because it was like
Pepsi
3 or 4
Max
floors.
right there as well at one point.
Yes.
And that Alien
also,
experience.
Just over the road from Trocadero, around the corner, was Namco Wonder Park.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think
which
Namco
was some massive arcade.
I think Namco's still in London somewhere, to be fair.
Quite
Pretty
possibly.
Sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, unless it's gone.
But yeah, I think the Trocadero's just dead now. I think it's shut.
Trocadero's dead. Yeah, there's nothing there, I don't think.
Yeah.
I remember they had that alien laser tag sort of thing. You go around and shoot aliens. I never got to do it though, but I heard about it. It was meant to be well cool.
One thing I do miss from that era is like independent game shops.
Oh yeah.
They were so cool because like, they were just like they had their own vibe, and yeah, you could find some weird and wacky games as well, like curious imports and stuff like that, which obviously like game just wouldn't stock.
Well, not even on the like really early periods, but like say like late 90s, 2000s. If you was pally with the guy in the game shop, like you'd always get the releases early as well.
Yeah.
Like if you like.
Yeah, I had that.
You knew him and that.
I actually had it once where there was like a shop that was in like this place where I live. It was called In Shops at the time. And basically, he was getting like a delivery of Mega CDs in, and he knew I was after one. And he was like, "Here, if you go off to the shop with so and so, which was like his business partner, like you can have one tonight," sort of a thing. So I'd have been getting it early. So I've jumped in the car with this fucking bloke I hardly know, looked like fucking Tinker from fucking Lovejoy. Skittled off down to fucking some warehouse out in the middle of nowhere for like fucking 45-minute drive or whatever. Come back and been like fucking whee, like fucking Mega CD.
Awesome.
At the time, it was good old fun. I did enjoy it for a while, and then I did a straight swap for someone for a Neo Geo, so that was a touch.
Yeah, it was a proper touch
back in the day, but. Yeah, like all the shops, like you said, round here had the same thing. Like they'd have a selection of Japanese games, American games, and sort of stuff like that. And then nowadays, pretty much, I'd say about 80% of games come out abroad or worldwide. Whereas back in those days, it was like sometimes not even half the titles would ever make it abroad, sort of a thing. So you'd always have, like you say, your curios and your interesting import stuff. They'd always be behind the glass counter at the front of the shop, sort of a thing.
Right,
paying like £100 for Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo.
Ridiculous. Right, anyway, I've got a couple more questions and then we're going to end. So Kirk says, with Ready Player One coming out next year as a film, would anyone in the community want to help design the book/film into a real game? Does anyone?
I haven't read the book.
So what he's saying is, if anyone has any skills, give him a tinkle, like get hold of him and let him know, and because he's into making some games at the moment. So
that'd be quite a task, I must admit, because although the game is like the book is basically about a person sort of playing a game,
playing games,
virtual reality sort of a thing.
Well, you guys are living that dream as we speak.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Sure.
There we go. Anything else you want to mention before we end? We just want to reminisce about the old days when games were good.
Good old days.
all fucking day, mate.
Yeah. Well, we could do a podcast on that at some point. Right, so I'm actually going to end it here then. We're going to have a shorter show this week. Next week, hopefully more people will turn up. Of course, you guys are welcome to come back on. So, yeah. So for me, Mark Webb, Gamer Tag, Piss on ID, Steam ID, Webby317.
Sensei Switch. Sorry, I completely forgot we didn't do an order because there's only me and you.
Peace out from me. Where's AKA Hench?
So thank you very much. Don't forget to visit the website mojo-interactive.net. Follow us on Twitter at mojo_int, facebook.com/groups/Mojo Interactive. And as always, join our Discord where the fun never ends. So thank you very much. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Laters.
Discord should be the place for party chat for the Switch.
Well, it should be, because the party chat on the Switch sucks balls, yeah.
I think there is a channel in there.
Yeah, we've got a channel in there.
Yeah, the channel in there for them to use.
Yeah.
But for anyone to say, like, oh, how do you party chat and talk on this console? Oh, well, we've got an app for your mobile. And it's like, we've got plenty of apps for our mobiles already to chat. So I tell you what, just say you haven't got one and we'll use one of them.
Yeah, I know. It's just stupid, isn't it? I don't know why I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get it. Why they would not put that onto the console. It's one of the most popular things now, isn't it?
Oh, it's Nintendo for you.
If everybody was making uproar about it when the Xbox 360 had it and the PS3 didn't, like, you would have thought they would have learnt from that.
Yeah.
It's a shame none of the Switch guys are on today, because I wanted to hear about Splatoon 2, because that came out, didn't it, this week?
Well, they've all been caning it, but they're too snobby to talk to us anymore because all on Nintendo machines. Bastards. Oh, look at me! I have a Nintendo! I don't want to play with you anymore.
But yeah, there was apparently lines for blocks.
La-di-da!
Like, for people going to pick that up.
We'll grab one, but I'll just wait till there's more games out for it. There's no point. The only thing that interests me is Zelda. And Splatoon don't really interest me.
Nah, looks shit. It looks like a kid's game.
Or actually wait if you can actually get hold of a console in the first place.
Oh, there's loads of them in stock now around here. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them in Argus.
Yeah, there's loads in Thailand as well. Get from Play Asia. There's a load of them.
I think they've got them in stock at Smith's toy stores. Well,
you got a Smith's toy store around you?
Yeah. I live in the hub of the country, mate.
You should always check in on them places where they underprice like gaming gear majorly in that Smith's toy store. My pal was telling me there was a Corsair headset. It was worth like 80 or 90 quid. They had it in there for like 40 quid.
I think they were one of the places that got accused of selling shit early before as well.
Yeah, I think they don't really have a clue sometimes. CEX is like that as well. Sometimes they don't know what they've got.
We need some Dozy Dorises to put out like Tuesday release games on a Friday.
That's what Shop 2's for, man. I remember they used to deliver them before early.
Yeah, they sort of can and can't. It's like you roll the dice each time. You'll either get it the day before or you'll get it on the day.
Oh, man, I can't even remember the last time I've actually got a physical copy of a game.
Yeah, it's all about Steam.
Steam sales.
Yes.
So I can't even... So I want to get games for my Rift, but I don't want to buy them from the English Steam store because it's like half the price in Thailand. So I've kind of got to like wait till I go back home. Otherwise, I've got to pay like double price for the games.
I've got
do with them demos.
Got too many games to play at the moment. It's just I picked
I'll
up.
Tell you what you want to pick up.
No,
I was going to say you should pick up Resident Evil 7 in preparation for when that goes on PC for VR next year.
Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I've got it already. I played it through. Right. Oh man, that game's wicked as it is. Like Invite VR is going to be amazing.
Just wait until you're being throttled and choked and stabbed all in your face. Like,
what's the movement like? Is it just walking around?
Use your thumbstick movement and stuff.
Okay.
It's like when I was looking into that Skyrim thing because they're doing Skyrim on VR, and at the moment that moves around like the teleporting thing.
Yeah.
Like you were saying about, and I was like, I just want to be able to look around in VR and use a controller.
Yeah.
To me that. So fair enough, it's not as immersive, but I don't want that kind of a full-on immersion where it's like, I need to swing my sword with my real hand and block with my other hand with the shield and all that lot. Fair enough, that's sort of cool, but I'd much rather just have a controller in my hand and just have the atmosphere and experience.
And that's what Resident Evil's like, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I think you should have an option to choose, especially with big developers like that. They should be like, well, you can play this with controller or with the touch or the move controllers. Or
it's just easy as well because, like on say Resi, there's like certain bits when you're being chased, and you can literally run down a corridor, and as you're running past something, literally look down at it and grab it and carry on running straight ahead. Sort of thing.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to playing that in VR, man. That's going to be wicked.
Just get ready to like get used to having to peek around corners and round doors and stuff. All the things you can't actually do in the actual game, like when it's not in VR.
I hope it's a free update because
it will be. It will be. They won't charge for it. If they do, that's
doing with
bullshit.
Doom and Fallout and Skyrim. I mean, how many times they actually want to sell Skyrim?
Gotta get down on Skyrim.
I love Skyrim. It's like one of my favourite games ever.
Next year you're about to buy it on iPhone.
Yeah. But it's like I've got the remastered, I've got the standard on the 360, I've got like the remastered on the PS4, and then it's like I'd like to play the VR one, but I don't want to have to buy the fucking thing again and have like a whole new trophy list and all this bollocks. I just want it to be an extension of like the original Skyrim.
To be fair, the remastered was on Steam. You got that for free, the remastered on Steam.
Yeah, if you owned the original on Steam as well.
But to be fair, the remastered was it was mainly mods that people made anyway from the PC community.
Yeah.
Mods that they made, like visual enhancement mods and whatnot. And they just basically used them themselves. They couldn't really charge for it.
It was just a good excuse for me to play it again. Like, so I do enjoy it. It's like Bioshock, the Bioshock collection. That was the same, wasn't it? If you owned that originally on Steam, you got that upgrade for free, I think.
Yeah,
upgraded. You know, I need to finish Skyrim. I'll do it in VR. I mean, every time I do it, I either turn myself into a werewolf or a vampire and just fuck the game up for myself. I know what I'm doing after that.
Werewolf's a little bit easier to deal with. The vampire thing, yeah, that can like fuck you up.
It always seems like a good idea, and I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Because the werewolf thing doesn't really give you any negatives, whereas the vampire does give you negatives, like not being able to regen stamina and health in daylight. I think is one of them.
Yeah.
And I got around it by having like a ring of regen that I used to walk around, and I used to regen with that. It was a lot slower, but at least I was still regenning. But to cure yourself of vampirism, I think it was like a complete ball ache. You had to speak to someone, go off somewhere, speak to someone else, go and then wait for someone in an area where, because it's sort of like the typical Bethesda bit of jank, the bloke may turn up in the area he's supposed to be, or he might not.
See,
and you can.
I remember on Elder Scrolls Online, I played that for like 2 or 3 days, and played on the Xbox actually, and a couple of guys I was playing with, they carried on playing, and I remember them begging some guy to meet up with them to bite him or something as well, because they wanted to be vampires because they're overpowered it's Elder Scrolls Online, yeah, they're all overpowered. So it's like begging this guy, please come and meet me here to come and bite me, and I was just like, oh, that game is so shit, man. Big disappointment. It just feels janky.
It's supposed to be a lot better than it was now. They've made improvements to that all the time, I think. So
they just released some new expansion pack for it, not that long ago. Morrowind.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, look at Final Fantasy 14 when they released 1.0. It was so poorly received. They fucking destroyed the whole game and rebuilt it from fucking the ground up. Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get in that as well, just a bit too much read. I've not really played any of the Final Fantasy games, so
it's not one where you need to really play any of the others at all. None of the games are actually connected, but there is a fair bit of fan service in this when it comes to sort of like using certain enemies from previous games or little like Easter eggs here and there that people that have played the originals will understand and get.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought recently for, I don't know, you've got it actually, Webby, haven't you? The law book.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
You could kill someone with it.
It's great, man. It's awesome.
You can bludgeon them to death with it. It is monstrous.
It's so
feels
cool.
lush as well. It's got like a velvety like cloth cover thing, hasn't it, around it and stuff. It's sort of.
How much was that?
I can't remember.
Like 30 odd quid, I think.
Okay, it's not too bad then. I think it'd be like 100 quid.
Oh no,
it's not too bad.
That would have been.
Do they still sell guides for games nowadays?
I think Brady Games still do all their strategy guides and stuff.
Oh man, I remember that as well back in the day. Go get your game, get the guide.
Go into a game, just be like, do you want the guide with that? Not really, mate.
Yeah, and then the internet come.
Yeah, GameFAQs used to be the only place of pretty much information.
Yeah.
To actually work out when you got stuck on a game. Like, I remember back in the day, like, prime example, Silent Hill, the piano puzzle. Like, what the fuck am I doing here? GameFAQs. And obviously this was going back to dial-up GameFAQs as well. So you'd have to wait ages, the old 36K modem, wait ages for it to load up. But yeah, it was all stuff like the crow flew 3 past the white or something, and it was to do with like the certain numbered white and black keys. You had to play a tune in a certain order to open up a passageway. Oh, it was fun times.
Yeah, some of the puzzles in the games back in the day, they were hard. I think they were made so that you had to buy the guide to go with it.
I mean, you still get it now to a certain degree where, like, you'll be playing a certain game and the game doesn't give you any direction of where you're supposed to be going or what you're supposed to be doing. And sometimes you're like, well, the fuck am I supposed to go? I'm going to have to go on the internet, am I? And look up where I'm supposed to be going and what I'm doing.
Yeah. Check it out. What are you playing in the background there, Webby?
Guild Wars.
You're hooked.
Oh, yeah, it's good, man.
You jump from game to game. It's unreal, man.
I'm gonna jump on Final Fantasy tomorrow because I want to finish the story, but I'm just getting. I don't have enough time to queue up at the moment for these fucking dungeons.
Do you have raid
It's not necessarily that as well. Sometimes you don't have time to get involved into something for a long time, so it's good to just have that one game you can just stick on and just do a little few things on and then stuff.
The dungeons get reset every week and that, right? Does it work like that?
Your weekly sort of times and things like that get reset on a Tuesday. Like, it's reset day, and like every day at 4 o'clock's the reset for other bits and bobs. So if you want to run certain raids and certain dungeons and stuff, you're going to find a lot more people running them on like reset day.
Yeah, on a Tuesday. Pretty much the same with WoW. Pretty much the same. Alright, all good. Well, I'm going to go and grab a drink and a bit of munch. Get back. I'm still jet lagged, man. Like, it takes me a good few days. I'm just waking up at like 6:30 in the morning. Like, I never do that back at home. And just can't sleep. I'm like, I'm knackered by the time I get to this time.
Fight through the pain.
I'm gonna play a bit more in the VR. My nephew and niece run it in a minute. I'm hoping to get it off of them. They don't know they've got one yet because it's not here. So
that's cool. That'd be a nice surprise. Yeah, even tell your old deal or whatever. Just go keep it until Christmas.
Yeah, I did say that to her. Yeah, I did say that to her. I said, make sure they haven't got a PC. So I said, like, it's got to stay here because they're the ones I give my Xbox and my PlayStation to. And the PlayStation was broke within, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks.
Fuck.
It's that PlayStation 4. I might even take it back to Thailand. It's got that blue light. So I might see if I can get it fixed out there.
Yeah, might be an idea.
Guys might be able to do it because I've been wanting to get one, but so much stuff to play. Busy.
Many games.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Right, guys, I'm going to jump off anyway.
Cool.
Yep, no worries.
Things to do. Yeah, cool. Well, I'll talk to you guys later.
Cool, take it easy.
Cool, man. Right. Yeah, see you later.
Bye. Bye.